15 minutes in the making, 15 minutes of the fame, 15 minutes of the fast cars and icy chains. I'm addicted to the fast life, it's so insane. 15 minutes in the making, 15 minutes of the fame. 15 minutes in the making, 15 minutes of the fame, 15 minutes of the fast cars and icy chains. I'm addicted to the fast life, it's so insane. 15 minutes in the making, 15 minutes of the fame.
This is your handsome host, Khalil Murray, a.k.a. Kaiser. So we're here today, Tuesday. One of the topics, or kind of like something that I wanted to bring up, because y'all all out there, you know what I'm saying? Stuff that I see on the news. And this is how I get an idea of, like, you know, the tone and the wave of what's happening on the streets and stuff is only through that way. And so I just found it kind of odd, right? Twice. And what we see in Philly, and I ain't talking about nowhere else but just in Philly, when it comes to the protesting and the snapping out, or, you know, with everybody and what they talking about. And so, you know, now the new thing is about trying to tear down these statues and going at the statues, right? So then, I wanted to pull it back a little bit and talk about how when these young boys and the different people was hitting the stores and they was looting and all of that kind of stuff, right? Now, I ain't saying none of that was cool or whatever. I ain't agreeing with none of that stuff. You know, people are going to do what they want to do. They're going to act out in the ways that they want to act out. But here's the thing that I noticed when it came to Philly. Two parts of the city show their stances, in my opinion, of how they felt about, like, black people and the issues that people trying to bring to attention. Fishtown, South Philly. Now, early on, Fishtown stood up when they all was out there down there at the police district on Girard Avenue. They all was out there. They was on the roofs with the rifles. They was on the streets with the bats and the handguns. And they was standing around deep, you know what I'm saying, and snapping. They had a little confrontation with one of the young boys coming through that rode through there on the bike, gripped him all, you know what I'm saying. Then down South Philly, when they all stood up all around the Target and was saying, you know, they ain't letting nobody come through.
SCI, Phoenix State Correctional Institution. This call is subject to recording and monitoring.
So when they were standing up down there, and they come down there and they say, look, we ain't letting nobody come down here and tear up our stores. This is where we shop at and all that kind of stuff. Now, with all of that under the positions, I understand. When it comes to the people trying to defend their communities, I understand that. You know what I'm saying? Defending, you know, where they shop at, where they got to get their medical supplies from, their medicine, their clothes, you know what I'm saying, the things that they need for their houses and all of that kind of stuff. That all makes sense to me. But in my opinion, and this is just my opinion, to me, it's a stance of saying what they still want to happen and that they don't want change, right? Because this was when all this stuff first started off. Now we're here, and it's about like a month or two later, now maybe like a month later, right? Now, Fishtown just did what they was doing. Maybe like last week, a week and a half ago, they was down there again. You know what I'm saying? Now, down in South Philly, they are down there at that plaza, Marconi Plaza, and they snapping. They out there with the rifles. They out there with the bats. They out there, you know, ready to fight anybody that dare to come near that Christopher Columbus statue. Right? And they showing, you know what I'm saying, they showing their position when it comes to, because we all know who the ones that's snapping up. Of course the white people was in the crowds with the black people protesting and all that kind of stuff. But we all know who feels some type of way about the real serious issues that's going on in this country right now. It's the black people. It's the people of color. Now, to me, what I see is, and just think about it, right? Back in the day, if you're from, like, where I'm from, in my neighborhood down North Philly, right? In between, like, all right, I was born, you know, down there in North Philly, Cecil B. Moore, Columbia Avenue, you know, kind of like born and raised, like, you know, 8th and Columbia, you know what I'm saying, 6th and Columbia, you know what I'm saying, where my grandma lived, all that whole area, 8th and Jefferson, Randolph and Thompson down my aunt block, all of that area, right? This is predominantly people I know. And also, too, when we moved up 3rd Street, 3rd and York, in that area. But what was always known about this area where I lived at,
SCI, Phoenix State Correctional Institution. This call is subject to
what we all knew about this area, what we all knew about Fishtown, you go on that other side of Front Street, on that opposite side of Front Street, it was dangerous. know what I'm saying? You go down there where the white people was at, you know what I'm saying? You was liable to get cracked in the head. You know what I'm saying? I remember, and I ain't had to experience it because my junior high school, I went up to Wanamaker's. But my man and them, most of them, after leaving, because I went up to first Dunbar, and this is getting off topic, but I went up to Dunbar, and then from Dunbar I went right across the street to junior high school to Wanamaker. You know what I'm saying? Now, most of my friends that I had grown up with, their elementary school was Ludlow. And then from elementary school, their junior high school, they went down to Penn Treaty. Penn Treaty is down there on the opposite side of Front Street. You know what I'm saying? And I done heard all kind of bizarre stories of, you know what I'm saying, how they used to get chased. You know what I'm saying? All that kind of stuff. I remember when I was young, you know what I'm saying, and we used to go down there and take their bikes. You know what I mean? We used to ride bikes, go down there and take their bikes. But it was the tension of knowing, like, if they catch you down here, you know what I'm saying, you might get left down this joint and might not make it back home. The same thing with South Philly. Down in South Philly, not on the higher numbers, not 20th Street, not 18th Street, not 16th Street, but going out towards Grace Ferry where most of the white people live, or on the other side of Snyder Avenue, you know what I'm saying, on the higher numbers at Broad Street, then down in the lower numbers. Down in the lower numbers, you know what I'm saying, going past 4th Street in Oregon, you know what I'm saying, 3rd Street, past Young, all down there in them smaller, where the lower numbers at. Down there in them areas, where them Italians at, and all of that kind of stuff, they was violent towards black people. I think I mentioned this a while ago when it came to the mummers. You know what I'm saying? How my mom mentioned to me one time how the mummers parades, when they used to come through, they used to stop playing their music when they came to the black neighborhoods. And it's just kind of crazy, not crazy, because we all know what's going on in the country. We know what it is. We've been living with it. Because people waking up now and they saying, you know, or they realizing like that is actually an issue. You know what I'm saying? That's one thing, but most of us have been knowing what's going on from generations, from our families to our aunts and uncles and our grandparents and great-grandparents. Everybody been living with this stuff. But it's just kind of funny to see these people down there now snapping out about this statue, and they able to stand around with rifles and guns and stuff. But if a dude was to go anywhere and stand out there with a rifle, with a gun that's legally owned, any of that kind of stuff, he's automatically going to have the cops crazy. We seen like last night, I see on the news, a dude down there tearing the stuff down off the gates on 12th and Reed. This dude was a supervisor at family court. And when they say something to him about him tearing the signs down and all that kind of stuff, and somebody say something, say Black Lives Matter, and he said, not to me, they don't. This dude is a supervisor in family court. A city building where people with family issues and family problems and the dynamics of how children are raised, and he has this kind of opinion, and he's in this kind of office with this kind of position as a supervisor. So can you imagine, you know what I'm saying, the kind of discrimination and the kind of opinion that he probably had when it came to how he was making decisions and stuff like that down there? They fired him. But yeah, but you just, you know what I'm saying, you see, it's just crazy that, you know, the things that's going on out here, you know what I'm saying, right now. And just seeing it on the news and stuff like that, it's hard not to talk about it. And I know there's a lot of other things that I can be talking about and probably bring to y'all when it comes to me and all that kind of stuff, but it's hard not to be talking about what's going on right now and what's, you know, at hand right now. So I just wanted to touch on all of that stuff. And as I always do, it's not just about touching on it and not thinking about the solutions and the problems. Like I always talk about, man, it's about preparing, and it's about trying to make sure that you and your family, and if you don't have a family, if you're a young boy out there on your own, you ain't got no kids, and you're living on your own, it's about you protecting yourself. It's about you not putting yourself in certain circumstances that's going to jeopardize your freedom or your life. Because, like, it's real. You see what happened with the young boy down in Atlanta, and I'm saying in that Wendy's drive-thru, that was the last thing he probably expected in that drive-thru when he fell asleep or when he woke up. Because all it was a field sobriety test. And then look what it turned into. So it's important, you know, if you're a young boy out there or you're a young girl out there, it's important to try to put yourself in the best safe position that you can when you're out in society and you're moving around. When you come out your house, the best you can do is to try to make sure you be aware of your surroundings, you know what I'm saying, and making sure that you're putting yourself in the best position that you can put yourself in. Educating yourself to what's going on, you know what I'm saying, and trying to, be careful with how you move and how you deal with things and how you talk to the people. I'm saying, how you talk to the people. Because no matter how hard it might be on your pride and your arrogance when it comes to dealing with them cops when they pull up on you and you in the right and they did nothing wrong, you know what I'm saying? You snapping out on them and all of that kind of stuff ain't gonna be for the good. Because they in a position where they feel like, any kind of arrogance or any kind of opposition or rebelliousness towards them gives them the right to go ahead and do whatever they feel like doing to you. So you might have to stand down. No matter how hard it might be, you might have to stand down for you to be able to make it home to live another day. And that's something you just probably got to check your gut with on your own. You know what I'm saying? If you're that kind of person who know that even if you're in the right, that you feel like you got every reason to raise your voice and snap out and argue. It ain't the time right now to be dealing with that kind of stuff. No matter if people around you got phones, because all of these joints being recorded. They don't care if it's being recorded, and if they see people aiming their cell phones at them, recording how they dealing with you, and how they handcuffing you, and how they putting you on the ground. They don't care about none of that. They don't care about going to court. They don't care about getting charged. They don't care about getting convicted. They don't care about you, period. So you got to outthink them. You got to outthink them. You got to be a little bit smarter with the decisions you make when it comes to that kind of stuff. And you got to be smart when it comes to the way that this country is moving and the leadership in this country is moving when it comes to reopening the cities and reopening these counties and all of this kind of stuff. Because this COVID-19 stuff is rising, like it's spiking again. They just moved 2 dudes, wallahi, the other day, a brother was just on the phone near me. Muslim, his name Muhsin. Muslim though, alhamdulillah. They just took him off the block because he got COVID-19. They just took another dude off the block because he had COVID-19, and they walking around taking our temperatures twice a day now and again.
You have 1 minute left.
But then in my mind, because he was just next to me on the phone, I'm thinking about it like, damn, I just gave him the greetings. I'm saying he was just next to me on the phone a couple of days ago. I wonder if that John, might bother me because he was breathing beside me. So now I'm concerned about that, even though they're checking my temperatures and I'm cool, but like they don't care. And coming out and reopening all this kind of stuff is mostly about economy. It ain't about health. They're trying to save the economy. They ain't trying to save people's health. The stuff is spiking. Look at it, spiking in all of these states where everybody coming out and moving around. So you got to really look at what's important. Like the economy ain't gonna mean nothing if you did. Your bank account and with the food in your refrigerator ain't gonna mean nothing if you did. So take it for what it's worth. Y'all heard Becky with the nappy hair. She said my 15 minutes of fame is up. It's over. To all the Muslims, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Thank you for